So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Aaron. I'm one of the greatest here. I appreciate allowing me to talk today. I just wanted to kind of share some ideas that I've always enjoyed thinking about. Hopefully you guys will enjoy today. So one thing real quick, since I have an audience, I always want to kind of ask this question. So one thing real quick, let's say all of you won the lottery. Okay, so every day you win $86,000, right? But the restriction on this is that at the end of each day, whatever you don't spend disappears. Okay? So whatever you don't spend the rest of the day disappears, but you'll get $86,000 the next day. Okay? How many people here would spend all of that money every day? Make the most of it, right? Buy everything you can, and don't let anything go to waste. How many people would do that? Raise your hand. Okay, so the majority of the class. All right. And how many of you would let some go to waste because you know you can spend some more money? Awesome. Okay. So every day we are gifted 86,400 seconds to use as wisely or poorly as we would like. And so today I want to talk about a question that we've heard often, and is, what is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of life? And it's a question that's hard to answer, but I like to discuss two answers that I believe apply to my life. So the first one I'd like to discuss is passion. Finding your passion and following it. Now, one of my favorite scientific theories is Einstein's theory of relativity. Some of you may have heard this before. And in this theory, he discusses how gravity affects time. So something that's very heavy, has a lot of weight, it can actually slow down time. Now the reason this is one of my favorite theories is because I think it applies to our lives. Right? So if you fill your life with things that attribute meaning, they attribute meaning to your life, time will slow. But if you distract yourself and you don't make use of that, you don't follow your passions and you don't attribute that meaning, you waste that time. So the issue with this is that, as we've seen in this class, and as I'm sure many of you see, we distract ourselves. We distract ourselves with our phones, we distract ourselves with our computers, we distract ourselves by going out to the forest and forgetting everything that happens between when we go and when we come back in the morning, right? So we distract ourselves and we don't focus on what our passions are and following those. Just forget about it. It's easier, right? As we've seen here, it's easier to do that. But what I want to talk about is, and I want to say first that I'm not exempt from this, right? I do and have done everything that I just did, okay? So I'm not exempt from this, and I have a hard time finding my passions and following those as well. But it's important, because if you can't figure out what attributes meaning to your life and what you enjoy, how do you expect to continue to move forward? And as you saw with what Grace just said, if you don't know what it is that really makes you tick, that motivates you, how can you keep moving? So this moves me to my next aspect of what I think the purpose of life is. And that is survival. Now, survival isn't really the same term that we used to use, right? It used to be hunting, gathering, conquering different areas, fighting. We don't do these things anymore, right? We're in college. We got all those things taken care of for us. But I believe this principle still applies. Because it's not so much surviving those conditions, but it's surviving the challenges that life brings upon us. Because, and one of my favorite things is the sociologist Erik Erikson, who we've talked about in this class, says that almost all of us, everyone in this room, will go through many of the same things. We'll all experience that stress, anxiety, right? Loss of a loved one. Or in the case of college, what I did last night, studying at ECL until 5 in the morning just to get some work done. We all go through those same motions. And it's difficult and it's hard, right? And we see it stresses us out. But the purpose of this survival is to persevere. Because life, it's not this road, right? We say it's a pathway. It's a wave, okay? It's ups and downs. And that's beautiful. Because when it's up and down, right, you appreciate that. How do you know what real happiness is until you've been really sad? How do you know you're feeling great until you've been really stressed out, right? You can appreciate that way. But the point of life is that when you get to those lows, you persevere, you keep moving. When you're stressed, when you're studying, let's say, you say, you know what, I'm gonna do it, because I know that next week everything will be okay. All right? You persevere through those challenges. And so basically what I'm saying here is the idea of always moving forward. We've talked about it in this class, right? You're always changing. You're trying new things. Kind of like the 6 small changes, right? You're trying new things. You're trying to figure out what it is that excites you. Novelty, trying new things. Studies have shown that excites you just like drugs do. Right? They stimulate you. It's exciting. So figuring out what those are. Persevering. Because if you're not growing, if you're not moving forward, you're taking a step back. And if you're not living, I argue that you're dying. So I'd like to end with a quote that's one of my favorites. And it's by Marianne Williamson, who said, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us." And the reason I like this is what she's saying is it's not what we can't accomplish that scares us. It's that we can accomplish anything we put our minds to, but we don't. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.